Today I'd like to talk about Paranormal Activity 3, and before that, let me just. Well, I'd like to talk about the predecessors, right? Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Activity 2. When I first saw Paranormal Activity, it was a bootleg, right? I saw that bootleg that was out floating around the time it came out, and it had a different ending. But the one different than the official one you saw where the guy just jumped at the screen. I thought it was a better ending. I thought it was creepier. Left it off on a weird, just like this weird tone, and I loved it. And I saw some people were all huddled around my computer, this little tiny screen, and it's not tiny, but you know what I mean. Like this little screen, just like a bunch of guys sitting around this, and we're all genuinely creeped out. We were into it. We were drawn into it. We haven't seen anything like this in a long time, other than when I was a kid and I saw Blair Witch. This is like the closest thing to that experience. And we were creeped out because we've all had these moments where we hear little creaking noises. My room's right next to this to the boiler in the house, to the heater, right? And so I hear these weird noises all the time. And when we see this whole movie, this just revolves around, at least like the first half hour, I think, like revolves around these little noises and these little tiny things with the doors moving and stuff like that. And we've all had these little moments where they could be explained. It's just the wind or whatever, right? But like all these little things. I mean, I don't believe in ghosts or anything, but it has this little authenticity. This little draws you into this little world, this reality, so they could tell you this story. And I genuinely I love that movie. Then the second one came out, and I had like just this. I mean, I wasn't expecting much out of it. Sequels tend to lose their, for the most part, not always, but the sequels tend to lose a lot of the magic. And with a movie like this, it relies on that. You can't, like, let's say, let me use that Blair Witch example, right? There are a few people who really did believe, like I was one of them, who did believe that actually happened, that footage was found, and they just played it on the movie screens and all that, right? For some reason, people bought that, right? I was a dumb kid and I believed it. But if you make a Blair Witch 2, no one's, fool me once, shame on me and all that jazz. So immediately that magic was gone with Paranormal Activity 2, and I was watching this in the theater, this time in a different environment. So in the theater, as opposed to my room with a bunch of friends, this was like a bunch of random strangers and like a bunch of teenagers. And I don't really like it, because you hear people scream for no reason. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that, right? I mean, that's just that's the audience you're with. But they're screaming at these empty rooms where there's nothing going on. The first one, I mean, you didn't know what to expect, so you were just like, you didn't want to scream. You were just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Number two, it was following a formula, not exactly. You know what I mean? It's not. It's like if you discover this nice little restaurant down the street, first time you try it, oh my god, it is amazing. Like the way they prepared it, awesome, amazing. First time you tried it, just your taste buds are, it's an orgasm in the mouth. You go there again, and sure, it's good, but now you got like a different chef, and things got prepared differently, and it wasn't the same. That magic's gone. Same thing here. And there's no reward. The first one at least had a build-up to certain jump scares. This, it wasn't really jump scares. It was a build-up to these little events that happened, to the girl being dragged away. I mean, there was a bunch of that leading up to that little event. Paranormal Activity 2, just straight to it, just like shit just goes crazy. Like the kitchen drawers opening and closing and all this stuff dropping, and they kept trying to outdo themselves, right? So instead of the Big Mac, they got up and man, the fucking, well, I guess a better one would be like Carl's Jr. They have like all these ridiculous burgers coming out. They just keep upping it, right? Like they trying to overstimulate you, with yeah. I don't know, I was going to use another food analogy, but there's you could probably think of a better one than me, because I mean, it's like the hot Cheetos, and then they got the flaming hot Cheetos, and they got all these little things that just overpower your taste buds, right? Same thing here, you know, they're trying to get the same reaction as they were in the first one. They do more to try to overcompensate, right? Because they know some of that magic's gone. Same thing here in the Paranormal Activity 3. This time there are scenes where there are CGI, and that just, again, further takes me out of the experience, out of this little world. I'm no longer, whatever sense of reality I had in the first one, a little sense of authenticity, completely gone. It's destroyed by the time you get to 3. And it's just this game of diminishing returns. And they're just giving me McDonald's. I already know how the Big Mac tastes like, and I expect that, you know what I mean? So, for me, myself anyways, I don't... I said this about 2 and 3, but I don't intend on watching this. I'm watching the next one. There will be a next one. But, yeah. Who knows? Every Halloween I end up watching it, so I'm watching the one that comes out. So they got me, but I only watch bootleg, so it's not really. I can't say I'm making it even worse.
Katie, Christy, say hi to the camera. Something's going on.
What do you think it is?
Do the knocking game you showed me, remember? How do you do it?
I don't know, ask her.
I really like that trick.
It's not a trick. She's been doing it all day.
There was something in the house. Christy's like connected.
A real life poltergeist.
She's like Carol Ann. I just gotta film this stuff. I set up my cameras around the house, right? I can maybe capture something.
Yeah.
Julie, watch. See that?
What? Oh my god. What is going on?
Hey, Christy. I saw you talking to somebody.
Kinda. He's very sweet. He's my friend.
I don't see him.
Standing right next to you.
Honey, he's not there.
This is not simply about Christy. This is connected to your side of the family.
He definitely knows about it.
Katie?
I'm worried about you and the girls.
Somebody say something!
I felt like digging in my side.
Did you hear that?
It's okay.
Nick was scared.
Christy? Girls!
We're getting out of here. Let's get in the car and drive.